Okay, still working on the Inquisitor stuff. However, we have a test server this week, and it's kind of a fun one, and it made me think. So, basically, I wanted to check something regarding the Weyland, which can heal bots, and the hellburner. However, to do this properly, I had to figure out how to get two accounts to work together. So I used two devices and made two test server accounts. And as you can see, my first account was Dawei, and I said it was from Uganda, and I was so proud of myself. So happy with that. So proud of myself that I'm actually kind of hate myself at the same time. Anyway, so I also ended up having to make a clan so I could squad with my second account. And so there we are the Knuckles clan. Click. I don't know if I can do it. And the other one was Epic Tests. Yeah. So, anyways, that's the basic gist of it. It was a little bit of a difficult to get myself in a squad with my second account, but I managed to figure it out. So here's the idea. The hellburner blows off parts of its health, and the weyland heals, but it only heals 80% of damage dealt. So I wanted to know if that applied to all damage or just damage dealt by enemies. So I have my hellburner, and it goes pop. And then I go back to see if it will heal the full health of the hellburner. And it does. So, that was kind of interesting. Now, of course, I could only play one of these accounts at a time, so I was trying to think, and it occurred to me that it'd be really helpful if you could take, like, a partner who was a Weyland or a Raijin or something similar, and if you could push them. And the idea occurred to me a while ago, but this just reminded me of it. The actual idea is kind of a push or weight mechanic, where, like, being that there are maps now, like the carrier map and the, I think it's going to be called the bridge map or the castle map, where it has areas of the map where you can fall and get your bot destroyed. I think it'd be an interesting mechanic to introduce, to have it such that bots could push other bots around. Of course, based on weight class, potentially, like heavy bots could push others around more. But also this could be something that could be incorporated into modules. So now I'm in my own Weyland, so I could get a little gameplay with it. I love that it can have an Ansel. I don't know if it's necessarily overpowered. It's certainly an interesting bot. It's not, I mean, it's sort of a tank, but it's way more valuable as a health station for teammates. So I think it could provide some interesting synergy to real team play. And of course, it's vulnerable to shock trains, most of all. And even though, in theory, it is reasonably tanky, especially with an Ansel, it can be overwhelmed, which you're about to see. I'm taking on, I think it's 2 or 3 different enemies. And there goes that. So now here's some of the ideas for potential use of this sort of weight blowback push ability. So of course you could push other enemies off. And I think it'd also be interesting if you could, like, maybe stop enemies in the midst of a jump so that they'd fall. It'd also be useful to be able to push enemies out of beacon area. And I like this idea. Like, of course, firing would complicate this, but you get some really tanky bots like the Bulwark, like the Lancelot, like potentially the Weyland. And it'd be interesting, like, right now I'm trying to show, like, potential uses for it against enemies, but of course this also implies uses for teamwork as well, like when you're pushing around a Weyland or a meat shield Raijin or something. Of course, this is kind of getting into the idea of making other bots or go airborne. This took a while to get correct. But using the jump to get other robots airborne. And I don't know, I thought this would be an interesting mechanic. You could kind of incorporate it into horsepower in the engines or the pistons. You could incorporate it into like maybe a weapon that would fire like a big cannonball that would just blow enemies back a couple meters. Kind of like the coconut, I think it's the coconut bomb in, or coconut cannon in the Plants vs. Zombies game. But anyways, that's the basic gist of it, so I hope you enjoyed the test server video, and the Inquisitor videos will be coming out soon. Thanks for watching.